Welcome again to another episode of the Consistency Queen. My name is Elsa Morgan. I'm a wife and my mum, and I also have a multiple six-figure that's scaling to seven figures coaching business. I have global clients all around the world, and I love helping women to build successful businesses with a proven, profitable system. So today I want to talk to you about the 6 habits that I embodied, or the 6 things that I did to be able to become this version. And let me tell you, when you make the decision to change your life, when you decide that you are going to go ahead and do this thing, success is inevitable. And so one thing that I need you to appreciate is, once upon a time in my 20s and in my 30s, I was working in the corporate world. I had a very successful corporate career. But what I found was that the goalposts kept moving. Every time that I would achieve budget, they would increase it again, or they'd make the parameters different. And so it was a forever an evolving thing. And for a woman working in the industries that I worked in, there was always a ceiling. And I just wasn't prepared to give up so much of my time for the sacrifices that you need to make to keep going up and up the corporate ladder. When I discovered the online space in 2015, quite by accident, I thought I knew it all. I thought I knew how to build businesses simply because I had a very successful sales and management career. But what I failed to realize is that building a business is very different than to having a job, regardless of how successful or what your results were in your corporate career. And so for a very long time, in fact, for about 3 years, I failed forward. I did it messy. I did it all wrong. When I decided to listen to my mentor at the end of 2017, early 2018, I started to get some results. But it wasn't really until 2020 when I started to listen to people of the likes of Grant Cardone and John Assaraf. And I started to understand why these peak performers were achieving the results. And since then, I've been embodying those peak performance traits. And I want to share with you 6 of them, because women often come to me and ask me and say, hey, how did you so quickly? Because literally from 2020 to now, there's been an acceleration in my life, and it hasn't been by accident. It's all been by design. It's been intentional. But I made the decision that I was no longer going to stay where I was. I made the decision that I was going to radically change my life. So the very first thing that I want to say to you is, make the decision that you will no longer stay where you are. And when you do make the decision, what tends to happen is that resources, people, information appear. But what people don't know is that it will often be in the version or the form that we don't think it will be. And so when that happens, people will think, oh, it's not meant to happen, or this is not quite what I had in mind. But yet that is all by design, because you are seeing your journey from your vision and your experience. But when you start opening yourself up to more, you see other things that you didn't see before. And so before I share with you those tips, I just want to make sure that you understand, when you decide that you want to change your life, be prepared, be open, that information, people, resources that you didn't expect will appear. And you just have to keep saying yes and stepping forward versus trying to analyze, because you are making decisions and judgments and observations from your level. It's really important that you understand that. Okay. So number 1, words have power. Words have power. And so one of the traits, or one of the habits that I embodied, and I picked up straight away that these peak performers embodied, is they were very, very careful about what they spoke into existence. And so since 2020, I've been very intentional about my journey and speaking life into my journey, speaking life into my home life, speaking life into myself. I never, ever, since then, I've really learned and been mindful and aware of what I actually say about myself, about my body, about my results, about my journey and my life. Because what you think about, what you speak about, actually shapes your reality. A really good example is when people make an observation in saying that something is expensive, especially when they're looking at investing in themselves. They say, wow, that's expensive. And automatically that is a reflection on not only their money mindset, but the way that they see their growth. So rather than saying expensive, How about you flip that and change your perspective and saying, wow, that's expansive. So expansive brings in the opportunity for you to grow versus contracting yourself because you're making a judgment based on where you are or making a decision based on where you are. So be very, very careful about how you speak into your life, into your family, into your business, and more importantly, into yourself, because that will shape your reality and that will also dictate the energy that you give into any one thing. Number 2 is to invest in yourself, because you have the knowledge, experience, and perspective, and that has gotten you so far. You can't move into another level or increase your income or your awareness or your knowledge or expand your business without having knowledge that you don't know right now. What you don't know, you don't know. And if you don't invest in yourself, you are limiting your capacity to grow. So ladies, especially for you, if you're wanting to change your life and if you're wanting to have radically different circumstances, I would be choosing investing in myself, which has been the decision, by the way, that I've been taking, choosing and investing in myself and in my business versus an expensive handbag, versus any expensive or any high level thing, because I know that without the investment in me, I can't go where I want to go. I know that I need to acquire information. I know there's a blueprint out there that's going to fast track me. And if I keep relying on the information that I have, I'm going to fumble my way slowly and try and figure it out. And that is a really slow, painful way to grow versus investing in yourself and fast tracking yourself. So be very, very careful when you make a decision. How do you manage your money versus, in terms of investing in yourself or investing in things that really don't marry up with who you want to become and where you want to go? Okay. Integrity is really, really important. And for me, it's my number one value. Like for me, that rules all in my family, in my life, in my business, with coaching clients that I bring on board. Integrity is absolutely key. And so for me, I do what I say, what I'm going to do. And so this is an important thing for you to really take into place. You need to start keeping your commitments. You need to start doing the things that you say you're going to do, because not only will that result in you actually doing the work and increasing the chances for results, but it also increases your confidence and also builds that know, like, trust out in the marketplace. If you keep not showing up or being up yourself and not committing to your word, not only are you not committed to your journey, you don't have enough faith in yourself and belief in yourself to be able to do the thing. And so by keeping your word, no matter how uncomfortable it is, no matter how tired you are, no matter how much you think, hey, this may not work, you'd be surprised at those things are just a story and it actually does work. But you won't ever grow and evolve unless you actually do the hard things. And keeping your word can sometimes be really, really hard. But at the same time, if you're fully vested in yourself, this is something that will naturally just happen because you believe in yourself and your journey so much. Number 4, I audit my circle on a constant basis. I'm very selective about who I give my energy, my time, my focus. If I see anything or anyone that is not in alignment with who I want to become, I distance myself, simply because my values, my words, my focus, and my energy are so important. And you need to be that strict, because as you keep growing and evolving, you will have a lot of people that will want to reach out to you, that will want to be a part of your world. And you've got to be super selective about who you give up your energy and your focus to. So continuously audit your environment, and you will need to make hard decisions, but they will serve you in the long run. Number 5, have an honest conversation with yourself about how committed you are, how things didn't work out for you in the past, but now you're committed to make this happen. And if you don't actually go ahead and do it, you will actually miss out on so many opportunities to achieve things and grow and experience life. How real, how dedicated and committed are you to actually doing this thing? It is so easy to give up on ourselves. The hardest thing to do is to stay where you are when you're so unhappy with your circumstances. And if you're choosing that hard, then you've made the choice to stay where you are. You hold the key. You hold the key to your freedom, by the way. And so if you want to change your life, have that conversation with yourself, decide that you will no longer stay where you are, and choose the other hard, the hard for growth, the hard for expansion, the hard for a new life that will be coming towards you if you just give yourself a chance. You just need to take that first step. But know this, the minute that you choose comfort over growth, there lies the answer as to why you're not where you want to be. And the last thing is personal development. I don't just do any personal development. I'm intentional with who I learn from. I'm very, very specific and aware about where my growth opportunities are, because I'm constantly assessing myself every single day. And when you have a system like I do, because I've developed systems to do self-awareness and also look at my performance in the day, you automatically know where your focus should be. And so my personal development is not just jumping onto any Zoom that appears. I'm very specific, I'm very intentional, and I also implement straight after. And so because I have intentionality and I know exactly where I need to grow, I naturally grow every single day. And you will eventually start to understand that about yourself. But you need to be committed to doing personal development every day and really trying to figure out how it is that you think and why you think the way that you think, for you to be able to go there and to be in that state. So I hope these 6 tips have given you some awareness about how I've been able to launch and scale my multiple 6-figure coaching business from scratch 2 years ago. It's been such a journey, but I can tell you anybody can achieve their goals if they really put their mind to it. You've just got to be committed, you've got to be focused, and you've got to just not be so addicted to the outcome and just get addicted to growing. So I hope this has served you. I look forward to serving you even more so my tips, tricks, hacks, and knowledge, how I've been able to evolve into this version and how I'm evolving into my 7-figure version. And I look forward to sharing more nuggets with you. And of course, if you want to lock arms with me, hop into my free Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/The Legacy Academy. You can also contact me via my website, elsamorgan.com, or you can drop me an email, Queenie@elsamorgan.com. By all means, leave me a 5-star review. Really appreciate it. Of course, it just elevates our podcast to be able to expand more reach. And thank you so much in advance. So take care, and I'll see you next week.
The Consistency Queen, brought to you by the Queenie Effect and the Tech Company. For coaching options, please visit elsamorgan.com.